The Ferrari team needs to investigate what went wrong properly. This is the statement everyone has been making following their horrific performance in Hungary. The performance plunged the Ferrari team into troubled waters along with the Sharks. The big question is, who is to blame for all of this? Well, everyone seems to be calling for Binotto's head. Why? Let's find out. Mattia Binnito has been informed that his position as Ferrari team principal may be jeopardized since the team is in hot water in their title battle with Red Bull. Ferrari got off to a quicker start in 2022, with Charles Leclerc winning 2 of the first 3 races. Carlos Sainz also scored well, although Red Bull had some early season reliability issues that cost them a considerable number of points. However, the two teams' fortunes have shifted since then, with the Italian squad currently experiencing hardware issues, while Max Verstappen has been running riot at the head of the race. The defending champion has won 5 of the past 6 races, except in Monaco, where teammate Sergio Perez triumphed. Ferrari has shed 76 points in the constructors' rankings due to engine reliability difficulties affecting its customers on the grid, Alfa Romeo and Haas. According to Formula One legend Juan Pablo Montoya, failure to reduce that deficit might cost Binotto his job. As a group, they are not executing as well as they should. That's what it boils down to. The Colombian, a 7-time F1 race winner, told Vegas Insider. He went further by stating, "You might claim that half of Red Bull's victories have been handed away by Ferrari rather than gained by Red Bull. While Red Bull has won several races via sheer performance, others have asked, really? Did you throw this one away as well?" Everyone in Ferrari is in hot water. Nobody wants to make a mistake or be accused, so everyone begins putting pressure. When you make mistakes, the pressure mounts, and even for the mechanics, the men that make errors are like, "I don't want to screw up," only to end up making stupid decisions. It's difficult to go against a team like Red Bull, whose strategy is highly aggressive and keeps making mistakes. In some ways, Red Bull has a lot of luck since they always receive the safety vehicles at the appropriate moment. But during Ferrari's mishap, Monaco with Checo, Ferrari had a 4-second lead when they called Charles in, and he lost 4 seconds between the in-lap and the pit stop, which was tragic to the driver. According to Montoya, he believes keeping your pit stop tidy is important. In an interview with Vegas Insider, he stated, "Just keep your pit stops tidy. You should go back to fundamentals, make simple pit stops, and call the race. Don't be frightened to make errors." Many of their errors have been from failing to make the necessary calls. When Montoya was asked if he believes Ferrari chiefs are under pressure to turn around the team's fortunes, he added, "Well, yeah, because I think in Ferrari it is known that if you don't perform, they'll put somebody else in charge. They're not afraid of making changes. And sometimes the consistency goes away. That's a difficult one. With everyone demanding the Ferrari principal's head, it's only right that he be allowed to say a few words. According to sources, the findings will determine whether or not he keeps his position regardless of what he wants to say or has said. Binotto informed the reporters that Ferrari must accept a widespread lack of performance in racing trim at the Hungaroring. "I think it's essential to clarify that we believe the vehicle was not performing as planned, and we didn't have the speed we were hoping for looking back on Friday and the pace we had on race simulations," he added. "The overall speed in the race was not good enough, and I don't think we were as good as we were striving for, regardless of the tires we were using. We calculated that it would have been a difficult stint for Leclerc on the hard tires, but we'd be back by the finish. Unfortunately, the tires didn't work. I was aware that the tires were not performing as well on other vehicles. Still, the study was based on all of the data we received. But as I previously stated, the major goal is not to dig into the strategy, but to understand why the vehicle was not as excellent as we had hoped. For the first time in the first half of the season, the vehicle was not as competitive as we had hoped for. Despite having tire problems, Mattia Binnito believes Ferrari lacked the strength to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. After failing to win at the Hungaroring, Ferrari was scrutinized again despite leading Prix to the final pit stops. During the first stints of the race, Ferrari's title contender Leclerc managed to overcome teammate Carlos Sainz and pass Mercedes' George Russell for the lead. However, Leclerc's lead was eroded as Red Bull's Max Verstappen sought to undercut the leaders by making his final pit stop first. Ferrari pitted Leclerc for hard tires, but the Monegasque driver battled tire temperatures and lost the lead to Verstappen. Leclerc's problems worsened when he was passed by Russell and Sainz, prompting Ferrari to abandon their hard tire plan before the end of the race, with Leclerc finishing in 6th. Leclerc's performance indicated that he was comfortable in the lead before the last stop, with Verstappen only becoming a factor when he took an early final stop. Despite the tyre worries, Ferrari team principal Binotto was questioned if Ferrari had the underlying pace to maintain their championship pursuit. "I don't believe so," Binotto told the media. "What we lacked was speed and tempo, and I don't believe we could have won tonight. I'm not sure why this happened, but it's the first time in a long time that we didn't have the speed to win. To comprehend, we must investigate the performance. I'm confident that we'll understand why the tyres weren't operating correctly." After a dubious strategy move shattered Charles Leclerc's chances of victory in Hungary, Mattia Binnito has dismissed suggestions that changes are required at Ferrari. Leclerc led the race last weekend until a switch from medium to hard tyres failed, forcing him back into the pits to put on softs. As a result, the Monegasque driver finished in 6th place, while teammate Carlos Sainz finished in 4th. With the victory, Max Verstappen now has an 80-point advantage over Charles Leclerc in the championship, while Red Bull leads Ferrari by 97 points. When asked how Ferrari would react to the situation and whether it was simply a case of bad luck, Binotto responded calmly. "It's not a question of bad luck, and there's nothing I can do about it. I believe it is always a matter of constant learning, gaining experience and gaining skills. In the Hungarian GP, it is something we need to look at and understand why it happened." Although no physical inspection has been conducted, the Ferrari principal, walking on eggshells, appears to be confident that things will improve. So how much trust does Binotto have in Ferrari to influence the results? Ferrari began the 2022 season with a 1-2 finish at the Bahrain Grand Prix, while Red Bull struggled with reliability. Leclerc had a 46-point lead over Verstappen after placing second in Saudi Arabia and winning again in Australia when Verstappen retired. Despite Ferrari's continued great performance as the season progressed, mechanical difficulties and blunders by Sainz and Leclerc lost important points. Binotto, on the other hand, sees Ferrari's raw speed as a plus and believes the team will be able to close the gap to Red Bull in the second half of the year. "If I look at the balance of the first half of the season, there's no need to alter anything," he continued. "I believe we need to rectify what was wrong in Hungary. We need first to comprehend, then address, and then strive to be competitive again. It has been the case in 12 races, and there is no reason to believe it will not be the case in the next. I think there's always a chance to improve yourself," he told Motorsport.com in an exclusive interview. "You can't be perfect and you never will be. So without a doubt, we need to strengthen our aero, chassis, power unit strategy and anything else we can." Mattia Binnito has stated that his strategy team is excellent, dismissing the idea of bringing in new faces in the aftermath of Ferrari's latest gaffe. How long will the race team suffer as a result of incompetence? We can only watch and see. Despite the challenges the squad is now facing, it appears that nobody has yet been held responsible by Ferrari. Mattia Binnito, the principal, appears unwilling to accept responsibility since he thinks it cannot be placed only on one person. Do you anticipate Ferrari will carry out the required investigation, or do you also believe Mattia Binnito is capable? Comment below.